Welcome to American Education FM, everybody. I'm Dr. Sean Brooks. Okay, well, it shouldn't shock anybody that within working environments, in particular within K12 schools and K12 school districts, that gossip, backstabbing, and a number of other unprofessional acts and habits take place with regularity. This right here comes from the Gateway Pundit, and it's titled, Cali School Board members caught trashing parents for wanting school open. Quote, they want their babysitters back. Again, the amount of misinformation that's occurred throughout this entire time over the last year has really driven people to do and say things that they might not have otherwise done or said, but it's also exposed the larger problem. And that larger problem, of course, is laziness and corruption. And it shouldn't, again, shock anybody that this takes place within such environments. And it doesn't happen within every environment, clearly, but goodness gracious, it certainly does among the most unprofessional. So I'm going to read through this briefly, and then I'm going to play the audio from this board meeting. It says, quote, and this comes from Cassandra Fairbanks at Gateway Pundit again. It says, quote, school board members in Oakley, California were caught mocking and trashing parents who desperately want their children back in the classroom during a virtual meeting. The board did not realize that parents could watch the meeting. And that right there, that should show you sort of the, ineptitude of certain individuals. Again, if you're being recorded and you're on video, anybody can watch you. So, goodness gracious. It's funny when the worm finally shows its fangs, so to speak. I pulled that from The Simpsons. It's a good episode. Anyway, one of the board members said that the parents just want schools to reopen so that they can smoke weed during the day. Board member Richie Masadas said that his brother had a medical marijuana service and, quote, the clientele were parents and their kids in school. Quote, when you got kids at home, no more smoking out, Masadas added. You can also hear board member Kim Bede use expletives in talking about parents, saying, quote, bitch, if you're going to call me out, I'm going to F you up. So here goes the audio. It says, quote, they don't know what goes on behind the scenes. It's really unfortunate that they want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back, said board member Lisa Brezendine, if I'm saying that right. There is now a movement for several members of the Oakley Union Elementary School District Board of Education to resign after their comments were posted online. Again, this is an interesting one because you can't expect the corrupt and the powerful to just give up their elected positions. It's not likely going to happen, in particular when it's all of them engaging in this. This is, again, one of the reasons why such a bureaucracy doesn't even have to exist. School boards don't even have to exist. They just don't. So here's the audio. Give it a listen.
You know, I was talking to one of my buddies. He's out in Benicia, and they just recently changed how they do public comment. And anyone that wants to put in a public comment has to call into their tech department, and they record their message. And it only lets you go for 3 minutes. And it just lets you know that, hey, before you start, once you hit 3 minutes, it's going to stop, and that's it, and you're done. And then it records them, and then they just hit play until they actually get played during the thing, and they don't have to be read.
I think we should do that.
So that's what I wanted to ask, and with some direction, I'll get some more information on that and figure out. He said he would have his tech guy walk us through that. So
I think that would be amazing. Well, Miss President isn't here, but I'm sure that she would be loved that too. Why couldn't we do that when I was president?
Will our tech department be able to handle that, Greg?
What I missed?
No, sorry, Lisa. So this is kind of right up your alley with technology. I was talking to one of my buddies. He's the superintendent in Benicia, and we're talking about public comment. And they just recently switched, so their tech department set it up to where people that want to submit a public comment call in and have to leave a message, and the message will cut you off at 3 minutes. So it's like, hi, my name is Greg Hetrick. I live at 2221 Delta Road, Knights in California, and I wish to speak on blah 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 blah. And they say it, and if 3 minutes comes, it just cuts them off mid sentence, and you're done. And it's like, and then that gets saved, and they send it in.
I love that. Right? I was just.
That's a good idea.
When I was president. Great. We need that.
I'm going to dip in here real quick. So clearly what they're talking about, and I hopefully you can hear it pretty well, and I'm sure you can. Nothing exemplifies the uselessness of a committee or a board quite like this. They're talking about nothing, and then what they're talking about is how to quickly muzzle and delete the microphone of a parent or a community member who has a concern. So if they all think it's funny and they're all smiling, when they hit the 3-minute limit and their time is up, then we get to cut them off, and isn't that great and isn't that cool? That's what they're discussing. It's worth noting that the vast majority of school boards laugh at parents behind their backs all of the time. And, in many cases, they laugh right at their faces. If they're doing that to parents, what do you think they're doing to teachers and students? I mean, the lack of professionalism that exists among these individuals is astounding. If I was a board member on this particular meeting, I would have looked at them long ago, minutes earlier, and I would have said, can we please get to the point of this meeting and then wrap it up? We need to wrap this up right now. And any board member gets to say that, but as you can hear, birds of a feather flock together, and they're all saying the same things at the exact same time, and they're all saying, well, I used to do this, and I used to do that, and blah, 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 blah. And they're all just ego massaging and wasting one another's time. It's beyond unprofessional. It's beyond awful. So just think about what they're saying about teachers and parents, and you're going to hear that right now.
I'm all for it, but the question is, will our IT department be able to break away from what they're doing?
Yeah, we won't make any announcement that we're switching anything until we've worked it out and made sure that we can do it and all that. So, yeah. Kelly and I'll work on that.
Because that means you would literally have to pull someone from IT during that day, and they have to just sit there and wait for people to call and record.
My understanding is it's set up like you just leave a message, but it will only allow you to leave a 3-minute message from start to finish.
Okay.
And so it just goes, and then it just, it captures it, and then goes.
Oh, boy.
You know what? Hey, Kim, I was just thinking, I was just thinking right now, just to encourage you.
Yeah.
People, it's easy to hide behind a screen and put in focus now. But when you're face to face with people, it's a whole different ball game.
Well, what's funny is that she's friends with who I went to Title Tower, and it was posted on my social media. Someone else posted it. It's like whatever. I wasn't doing anything bad. I honestly don't care about that part. But you know what? Are we alone?
Yeah.
Bitch, if you're going to call me out, I'm going to fuck you up. Sorry, that's just me.
They forget that there's real people on the other side of those letters that they're writing.
Yes.
We're real community members. We have kids or have known kids that have gone to these schools.
Right.
Have an vested interest in this process, and they don't know what we do behind the scenes. And it's really unfortunate that they want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back.
Right.
That's how I feel.
All right, so again, what you can clearly hear them doing and clearly hear them saying, is that they seem to think that there's no way that a community member or anybody else in society has any idea what goes on during school board meetings and what school board members deal with. There have been countless quotes from countless people over the course of a century. And I'm going to say, I think one of them was Rush Limbaugh, to say the least. And I read it just the other day. But it went something like this. It basically said, committees don't seek to solve problems. They only seek to exist. If they solved problems, they wouldn't have to exist anymore. Committees exist to perpetuate problems or make it look as if they're doing something when in fact they aren't. So this particular board member is just blowing smoke. That's all they're doing. They're just blowing smoke. They're not actually fooling anybody. Because if you've listened to the first half of this entire board meeting, it's a waste of time, which proves those points. It proves all of those old philosophical quotes. The only thing that's happened throughout this entire time is school boards have believed lies from people who are lying above them, and then they're passing those lies down, and now the student populace and the parental populace isn't buying the lie anymore, which means what are they selling? They're just continuing to sell lies and no one's buying. Now let's keep going.
I agree. And it's fine. It's just, I just to get up.
I totally hear that because my brother had a delivery. Yeah, my brother had a delivery service for medical marijuana. High clientele were parents with their kids in school.
That's awesome.
So when you got your kids at home, no more Friday, no more. Yes, my dog.
I have all of his football pictures down.
Yeah, your quarterback might be traded. You're not happy.
I heard Frankie's not happy. Sucks.
Right. All three of our candidates are on and ready to go when we're ready to go.
Okay. Uh-oh. Laura Lanier, just FYI, you guys have the meeting. Oh, we have the meeting open to the public right now. That's what Laura just said. Trey.
And then they got caught. The meeting was open to the public the entire time and they had no idea. Oops, cat's out of the bag, you got caught. This is exactly what happens behind the scenes when they don't know what they're doing and they're wasting taxpayer time and taxpayer money. It's absolutely amazing. They're not singular in this regard. It happens all the time in countless meetings like this. Again, when I was a school teacher, this was the worst part about it. Useless meetings, just to have them. Not because anything was being accomplished, and I've described some of those faculty meetings in the past, or some of those committee meetings in the past. But if you're going to have a committee meeting, get to the point, solve a problem, and then wrap it up. It's that simple. It's not difficult. My brother is in the management business. I won't get too descriptive, but he has an excellent quote. And he says it all the time, and he's dead right. And it's, don't make work. That's it. Don't make work. And you make work by making mistakes, and you make work by wasting people's time. You're making work. Don't make it, just do it and get it done. But now they got caught. And no, they won't resign. That's not going to happen. They'll keep their positions. Somebody might run against them in the future, maybe not. And that's just unfortunately how the cookie crumbles. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is in many cases. So again, the most professional meetings and the most professional committees and the most professional school boards are the ones that just get the job done as quickly and as accurately as possible, and they tell the truth. But I'm telling you, those are few and far between, which simply means if you're ever going to be on one and you're ever going to take something like that on, then you've got to do it the right way, and do it the right way by being fast and accurate. That's all. Just be fast, accurate, and get it over with. But the gossiping, the back and forth, the unprofessionalism, the name calling, the laughing, the joking, the blah, 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 all of that is just a colossal waste of time. And the person who was running the meeting and facilitating the whole thing, the guy that you heard at the very beginning, he wasn't intervening at all. He wasn't stopping anybody. He wasn't saying, hey, stop having these conversations. And he should have known that the whole thing was public. But he didn't. So that just tells you how aware they are of their surroundings. Thank you for listening to American Education FM. Don't forget to check out AmericanEducationFM.com, where you can make a small donation or even email us and be a guest on the podcast. Until next time, never stop learning, never stop reading, and never stop unlearning. Thanks for listening, and God bless.